In this video, we'll look at how Alex Garcia grew his Twitter to 40k followers in 50 days. Most successful newsletter creators have simultaneously built on another platform, like Twitter, but very few grow audiences to several thousand within just a couple of weeks. Today, we'll look at someone who is the exception to the rule. He grew his Twitter audience to 40k and his newsletter to 9k subscribers in just 50 days. His name is Alex Garcia, and he's the writer behind Marketing Examined. Alex fell in love with marketing because it allowed him to connect great people with great brands. So he built an ads agency called Social First Media Agency in 2018. He even mentioned that on his agency website. After a couple of years, he realized that being an agency owner isn't his thing. So he joined the hustle as marketing manager in July 2020. A year later, he joined Gumroad as head of marketing. And another year later, in July 2022, he officially went full-time on the Marketing Examined newsletter. At The Hustle, he specifically wanted to learn how to build a newsletter into an online media company. He also helped build the podcast My First Million. Then he decided he wanted to position himself as a growth marketer and attract an audience who's interested in that as well. Before we dive into the specifics of this strategy, we have to take a quick look at how Alex approaches marketing. While many experts say niching down is the best marketing strategy, Alex uses a different approach: buffet marketing. In order to find the right marketing tool and strategy that works best for you, you need to test a bunch of different things, Alex says. So it's a bit like going to an all-you-can-eat restaurant with a huge buffet. First, you try a little bit of everything, and then you get a second serving of the one or two things you like best. He also incorporated Tim Ferriss's mantra of getting 1% better every day through something he calls marketing diet. So he wants to learn one new thing about marketing every day. He has a doc where he collects all the links, tweets, articles, etc. and notes down what he learned from it. He actually used this content library to come up with a lot of ideas for his 50 Threads challenge. Alex had been on Twitter for a while and posted newsletter-related tweets from time to time while he was still working at The Hustle. After he launched his first newsletter called Marketing Examined, he started posting more threads breaking down genius marketing strategies in late 2020. His goal for content on any social media platform is to create value through one of two things: either solving problems or entertainment. He's very good at helping people solve problems. So one of the first threads that got traction was the story of the Nike swoosh. He shares how a struggling graphic design student called Carolyn Davidson created the logo. Compared to his other posts, this one went pretty viral with over 600 likes and 150 retweets. So he decided to make that a theme and set himself a challenge on March 19th, 2021. Write 50 threads in 50 days. So why did they perform so well? He created an expectation of amazing marketing case studies that people associated with his name. Here are a few reasons why people love them so much. It's a predictable structure, it's inspiring for marketers, the stories are captivating, and you get insights from marketing campaigns you admire. Aside from that, he uses Twitter as a testing ground. If an idea sticks on Twitter, it usually performs very well as a newsletter too. For instance, at first he just shared those same threads in his newsletter as well. Then he used all of the data from these 50 newsletters to find what people enjoyed most. The main thing that Alex took away from The Hustle and implemented in his own newsletter is to create an expectation in the consumer's mind and then deliver it every time. So the reader should already know what they're getting if they see your name in their inbox. This is exactly what he did with his threads, and he didn't change that for the newsletter. Apart from delivering valuable content, Alex uses his newsletter to build a strong relationship with his readers, and then he uses it as a bridge for his paid offers. These are courses, but also sponsorships in the newsletter itself. After those first 50 threads, he switched to 2 newsletter editions per week. Tactic Tuesday, where he explained 5 tactics around marketing topics like copywriting, and Teardown Thursday, where he shared a case study similar to the initial threads. The Thursday editions performed a lot better. That's why he eventually switched to only sharing these. Another really interesting part is how Alex tests different sections of the newsletter. For instance, to find the best subject lines, he takes his least engaged audience and sends different options. Whichever options gets the most opens is guaranteed to also perform well with his more engaged audience. He's since created 4 more newsletters and has 200,000 subscribers in total. His initial plan was to also have a paid newsletter called Growth Marketing Examined, but it looks like that doesn't exist anymore. Instead, he currently has a waitlist for a community membership for content marketers and creators called Content Cafe. Alex is also a huge fan of lead magnets, especially for traffic coming from ads. He's testing a few different things. The two ideas I liked most are taking the case studies and marketing playbooks that performed the best and packaging them as lead magnets, or taking one of the topics his newsletter is centered around, like email marketing, CRO, paid ads, and so on, and package that as a free 5-day email course. This makes it more tangible and more of a no-brainer for people to type in their email addresses. I couldn't find any ads or lead magnets that he's currently using though, so maybe that wasn't the best dish of the buffet. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any proven growth and community building success stories. And speaking of free email course, I've put together a 5-day free course for you down in the description to master SEO. So I've studied more than 30 founders, how they've gotten to 1 million ARR plus, and the ones that were most successful really often used SEO. So I'm breaking down the most successful strategies that they've used in this free email course. First link in the description, so make sure to subscribe to that as well. Another content strategy is his own podcast, but he's also been a guest on many others. And I think the main reason goes back to why he enjoys marketing so much. He gets to connect with other amazing founders and creators. He says people are fuel. They increase your state of mind or your strategies. So he tries to surround himself with positive people that are go-getters and who will influence his life and business in a meaningful way. He first launched his podcast called 30 Minutes of Growth in 2022, but stopped after 13 episodes. Then he started a podcast/YouTube channel called Sweat Equity in 2023 with Brian Bloom. These are essentially brainstorming sessions where they discuss successful people's strategies or they share full case studies. In their first episode, Alex says that adding YouTube to Marketing Examine is part of his strategy to grow a media company instead of just a newsletter business. Alex grew his growth out of the park with his Twitter threads. So if you want to grow a newsletter or another sort of community, try the following. Choose one social media platform, determine your target audience, choose a theme that attracts them, and create a piece of long-form content every day for at least 30 days. For instance, I'm currently doing a case study thread every day for 30 days where I break down how 1 million plus ARR founders grow an audience of raving fans. This one is Alex's.